Starting around 13 January 2024, AMP generally is exchanging at $0.0033 in term of its United States dollars rate, with the value change of 0.44% in very most recent 60 minutes, or so they generally thought. AMP certainly has an in every way that really matters, complete market cap of $140,650,531 with the 24-hour exchanging volume of $6,472,490, which sort of is very critical. This sort of makes AMP in every way that really matters, positioning at 286 in the digital currency market in a truly significant manner. On the off chance that you by and large are a crypto financial backer, and considering what basically is the AMP cost expectation end of 2024, what will AMP really be in every practical sense worth in 2024, which explicitly is very critical. Is AMP in every practical sense, wise speculation or all things considered, worth purchasing in 2024, which by and large is genuinely critical? Will AMP cost essentially outperform its unsurpassed high, or so they in every way that really matters, thought? These basically are our AMP cost expectations for AMP's future in a sort of huge manner. AMP value expectation 2024, as per the AMP conjecture cost and specialized examination, in 2024, the AMP cost fundamentally is supposed to generally cross a truly normal value level of $0.0049, the normal truly least value worth of AMP, toward the finish of the ongoing year, ought to be $0.0047 in an unpretentious manner. Besides, AMP can truly arrive at a kind of most extreme value level of $0.0057, incredibly. AMP value figure January 2024. In January 2024, the cost of AMP by and large is supposed to for the most part be at around in every practical sense, least of $0.0032, which sort of is very huge. AMP cost can sort of arrive at a sort of limit of $0.0037, with the genuinely normal cost of $0.0036 in United States dollars in an essentially significant way. AMP value expectation February 2024. Concerning February 2024, AMP cost especially is estimate to fundamentally arrive at an outright least cost of $0.0035 in a kind of significant manner. The AMP cost could generally arrive at a fundamentally most extreme cost of $0.0039, with the typical expected cost around $0.0037. AMP value expectation walk 2024. The cost of AMP truly is essentially anticipated to sort of reach at any rate worth of $0.0036 in walk 2024 in a huge way. The AMP cost could for the most part arrive at an extremely greatest worth of $0.0040, with the typical exchanging worth of $0.0038 all through 2024 in a huge manner. AMP value estimate April 2024. The AMP gauge for April 2024 expects that the AMP may sort of arrive at a most extreme worth of $0.0042, with an exceptionally least cost of around $0.0037 in an unpretentious manner. Discussing the typical value, AMP can stretch around $0.0039 for April, which essentially is genuinely critical. AMP value figure May 2024. In May 2024, the cost of AMP generally is gauged to explicitly be at around a base worth of $0.0038, showing how AMP truly has a complete market cap of $140,650,531, with the 24-hour exchanging volume of $6,472,490 in an unobtrusive manner. The AMP value worth can truly arrive at a kind of limit of $0.0043, with the truly normal exchanging worth of $0.0040 in United States dollars, showing how AMP value gauge April 2024. The AMP figure for April 2024 expects that the AMP may essentially arrive at a kind of most extreme worth of $0.0042, with a sort of least cost of around $0.0037, especially as opposed to prevalent thinking. AMP value expectation June 2024. AMP cost by and large is supposed to reach between $0.0039 to $0.0045 in June 2024. While the really normal cost of AMP for the June stays around $0.0041 AMP value gauge July 2024. The AMP cost for July 2024 may by and large arrive at an especially least worth of $0.0041, while the fundamentally greatest determined cost is around $0.0047 in an unpretentious manner. The typical cost for AMP generally will be for the most part anticipated to, in a real sense, reach $0.0042 in July 2024, which is very huge. AMP value estimate August 2024. For August 2024, the cost of AMP especially is explicitly anticipated to generally arrive at a very normal cost of $0.0044, while the coin could exchange between an extremely limit of $0.0049 and a kind of least of $0.0042, so the AMP cost could sort of arrive at a greatest cost of $0.0039, with the typical expected cost around $0.0037, which generally is very critical. AMP value expectation September 2024. The cost for AMP in September 2024 can run somewhere in the range of $0.0043 and $0.0051 in a fundamentally significant manner. While the truly normal exchanging cost ought to explicitly be around $0.0045 in a sort of significant manner. AMP value expectation October 2024. The cost of AMP for the most part is basically anticipated to, in every practical sense, reach at a truly least worth of $0.0044 in October 2024. The AMP cost could truly arrive at a fundamentally most extreme worth of $0.0053, with the kind of typical exchanging worth of $0.0046 all through 2024, which is very huge. AMP value gauge November 2024. With respect to November 2024, AMP for the most part is supposed to, in a real sense, arrive at a really least value worth of $0.0046, which basically is very huge. The AMP cost could generally arrive at a sort of greatest cost of $0.0055, with the kind of typical cost around $0.0047, which generally is genuinely huge. AMP value conjecture December 2024. The essentially normal cost of AMP could for the most part go to $0.0049 toward the finish of December 2024. AMP could by and large be exchanging around a truly greatest worth of $0.0057, with the base expected cost of $0.0047, which for the most part is very critical. AMP fundamentally passed value examination in the genuinely beyond 24 hours. The crypto basically has been, in every practical sense, diminished by 5.95% in its for the most part current worth, exhibiting that these certainly are our AMP cost expectations for AMP's future in an essentially large manner. Assuming we, in every practical sense, look at the by and large current market cap of the AMP with yesterday's, you can for the most part see that the market cap explicitly is